Have you ever wondered what goes into creating the perfect cup of coffee? From the farms in tropical climates to the roasting facilities where the beans are transformed, each coffee bean takes an incredible journey before it ends up in your morning brew. Coffee is one of the world's most popular drinks, enjoyed by millions every day, but few people know the fascinating process that brings it to life. Today, we're going to explore each stage in the life of a coffee bean, from the farm to the final packaged product. By understanding this journey, you'll gain a whole new appreciation for the coffee in your cup. Very quickly, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button to give us a like. It's your support that helps our channel grow. Coffee isn't just a beverage, it's a global phenomenon and a major agricultural product that fuels people's mornings and communities around the world. In fact, coffee is one of the most traded commodities, second to only oil, with billions of cups consumed each day. But while we enjoy it as a drink, coffee actually starts as a small seed inside a fruit, the coffee cherry. These beans go through an incredible transformation before they become the rich, aromatic grounds that we brew. The process of producing coffee beans is complex and requires careful attention to detail. It involves multiple stages, from cultivating the coffee plants to processing and drying the beans, followed by roasting and grinding. Each step plays a pivotal role in defining the unique flavors and aromas that we experience with every sip. Every type of coffee, from a light fruity roast to a dark, intense brew, starts with the same basic journey, but can turn out very different depending on how it's processed. Coffee production begins on farms located in the Coffee Belt, a region that includes countries along the equator with ideal conditions for coffee growing. Coffee plants thrive in high altitudes, warm climates, and nutrient-rich volcanic soil. Major coffee-growing countries include Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, and Vietnam, each producing beans with unique flavor profiles influenced by the local soil, weather, and altitude. The journey of a coffee plant starts with planting a seed, which grows into a shrub over the course of 3 to 4 years before it begins to produce cherries. These cherries contain the coffee beans at their center, but getting to them requires patience and precise care. Farmers monitor the plants as they mature, looking for cherries that reach a deep red color, a sign that they're ripe and ready to be harvested. Harvesting is a delicate process. In many regions, it's still done by hand to ensure that only the ripe cherries are picked. Skilled workers carefully select and pick each cherry by hand, which is time-consuming but essential for high-quality coffee. In some regions, mechanical harvesters are used, especially in flatter areas, but hand-picking remains the preferred method in regions known for premium coffee. Once the coffee cherries are harvested, they go through processing to separate the beans from the surrounding fruit. This step is crucial because it not only preserves the beans, but also significantly impacts the flavor of the final product. There are two main processing methods: the wet or washed method and the dry or natural method, each producing distinct flavor profiles. In the wet method, cherries are quickly sorted and depulped to remove the outer fruit. The beans are then placed in large water tanks where they ferment for 12 to 48 hours. During fermentation, natural enzymes break down the remaining fruit mucilage clinging to the beans. After fermentation, the beans are thoroughly washed and left to dry, usually on raised beds or patios under the sun. This method creates a clean, bright flavor, often highlighting fruity and floral notes. In the dry method, often used in regions with limited water resources, the cherries are spread out under the sun to dry whole, with the fruit still intact. They're turned regularly to ensure even drying and are left in the sun for up to several weeks until they reach the desired moisture level. The dried cherries are then hulled to remove the outer layers, leaving behind the green coffee bean. This method tends to produce beans with a fuller, fruitier flavor profile. After the initial processing, whether wet or dry, the coffee beans must be dried to achieve the right moisture content for storage and roasting. Beans are typically dried to around 10 to 12% moisture, which helps preserve their quality and flavor. This drying stage is essential because excess moisture can lead to mold and spoilage, while overly dry beans can lose flavor. To dry the beans, they're spread out on large patios or drying beds under the sun, where they're carefully raked and turned regularly to ensure an even drying. In some cases, mechanical dryers are also used, especially in regions with unpredictable weather or during the rainy season. Sun drying, however, remains the preferred method for many high-quality coffee producers, as it allows for a more natural, controlled process. Once fully dried, the beans, now referred to as parchment coffee, still have a protective outer layer called parchment that needs to be removed. This step, known as milling, involves two main processes: hulling and optional polishing. Hulling removes the parchment layer, leaving the green coffee beans exposed. In some cases, the beans are polished to remove any remaining silver skin, although this is largely an aesthetic step and not essential for flavor. Finally, the beans are sorted and graded based on size, weight, and quality. This grading process ensures that only the best beans make it through to the next stage. With the beans now ready, they're prepared for transport to roasters worldwide. Once the beans are dried, milled, and sorted, they're packed and ready for export. At this stage, they're known as green coffee beans, and while they may look finished, they haven't yet been roasted to bring out their flavor. Green coffee beans are packed into jute or burlap bags, which are breathable and help protect the beans during transport. These bags usually hold about 60 kilograms of coffee and are carefully stacked and stored to prevent any damage or contamination. The coffee trade is a global network, with beans transported from producing countries in Africa, South America, and Asia to roasting facilities all over the world. The journey often involves multiple modes of transport, including trucks, ships, and sometimes airplanes, especially for high-quality beans destined for specialty markets. Shipping conditions are crucial, as beans need to be kept cool and dry to preserve their quality during transit. Roasting is where green coffee beans transform into the aromatic, flavorful beans we recognize as coffee. This stage is both an art and a science, with each roasting style bringing out different characteristics in the beans. When roasted, beans undergo complex chemical changes, creating the flavors, aromas, and colors that make each coffee unique. Roasting begins by heating green beans in a roasting machine to temperatures between 370 and 540 degrees Fahrenheit. As the beans heat up, they start to change color from green to yellow, then to a light brown, and finally to the familiar dark brown we associate with coffee. During this process, the beans go through a reaction called the Maillard reaction, where sugars and amino acids react to produce rich, caramelized flavors. Roasters can achieve different flavor profiles by varying the roast level. Light roasts highlight the beans' natural flavors, often with bright fruity notes. Medium roasts strike a balance, offering a fuller body while retaining some of the beans' inherent characteristics. Darker roasts, often associated with bolder flavors, have a deeper, more robust taste with less acidity. Roasting requires precision, as even a few seconds too long can affect the flavor. Experienced roasters monitor temperature, color, and aroma closely to hit the perfect roast level. Once roasted, the beans are cooled quickly to halt the roasting process. These freshly roasted beans are now full of flavor and ready for the final steps: grinding, packaging, and eventually brewing. Once the beans are perfectly roasted, they're ready for grinding and packaging, the final steps before they're enjoyed as coffee. The grinding process is essential, as the grind size directly impacts the brewing method and flavor profile. Different brewing methods require different grind sizes. For example, espresso machines need a fine grind, while a French press requires a coarser grind to achieve the best flavor extraction. Many coffee companies grind the beans to match the common brewing methods, but some prefer to sell whole beans, giving coffee drinkers the flexibility to grind them fresh at home. After grinding, the beans are quickly packaged to preserve their freshness and flavor. Coffee is highly sensitive to oxygen, light, and moisture, all of which can cause it to go stale. To combat this, packaging often includes vacuum sealing or nitrogen flushing to keep the beans fresh as long as possible. Bags are also designed with one-way valves, allowing carbon dioxide to escape without letting air in, which preserves the beans' aroma and quality. From the coffee farms in tropical regions to the roasting and packaging facilities, Each coffee bean takes a fascinating journey before it reaches your cup. Every stage, from growing to grinding, plays a crucial role in developing the flavors, aromas, and qualities that make coffee one of the world's most beloved beverages. Understanding this journey gives us a whole new appreciation for the work, skill, and passion that goes into every cup. If you enjoyed learning about how coffee is produced, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the origins of how things are made. Let us know, what's your favorite way to enjoy coffee? Until next time.